Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Couch Crocheter. Episode 93. Craft Show. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Couch Crocheter. I wanted to stop by tonight and let you know how the craft show went. So it was on Saturday. It was at Stroudsburg Village in Adamstown. There was 47 spots and I think only 3 vendors didn't show up. It did turn out to be a tad bit of a chilly day when the wind blew, but it wasn't too bad. And then we did end up packing up at 3, even though we weren't supposed to pack up till 4, because there was a thunderstorm coming in. So we wanted to make sure that we were all packed up, considering, it's yarn and works that's already been blocked, and I really don't have the space to dry it out. I did not want to get caught up in the rain. So I just wanted to share with you guys how I did. I don't think I did too bad. We did get there right at 8 o'clock. We got set up right away. We were up and going by 9. Honey had to run home and get a second round of stuff. We put stuff in my car and his car. There was just stuff that I forgot, like my sign, the bag of hangers to hang stuff on. What else did we forget? Oh, the chairs to sit on. I think that was all he had to run back home for. And then while he was home, he made us 2 Lebanon bologna sandwiches with American cheese on... What bread do we have right now? Honey wheat. On honey wheat bread that was toasted with mayo. It was really delicious. And that was a surprise because we didn't have breakfast. We woke up really early at 7, packed up the car. He had a cubby hole, which you'll see in the picture that I'll be inserting later. He had that to put together, and then we had the white rack to put together, the black rack to put together, hang everything up, set everything out. We did get up, done fussing. I got done fussing with stuff around 9:30. It was a good day. And then he ran home. He made us lunch, which was a surprise. And then we ate lunch together. And I think in the photos, I'm holding the plate of both of our sandwiches. He waited to eat his until he came back to me, with me, so we can have lunch together, which I thought was awesome. Like, he's so good to me, guys. Like, I really won the lottery with him. He is the best thing that ever happened in my life, I feel. So yeah, overall it was a good day. I had family stop by. Oh, I met up with the, this has nothing to do with the craft show. It has something to do with the Shouse. I met up with, okay, so my brother works for a corporation as a welder. So another department within that corporation is the electrician. So because they're both department heads, my brother felt comfortable asking him to do a side job. So the electrician guy, and that's all we're going to call him, the electrician guy, came over and just gave me an estimate of, like, not an estimate yet. I gave him an itinerary of where I wanted everything to go, what I needed, the wattage that I would need for such and such outlet, how many I needed to connect up. So we went over all that. He's going to give me a list of stuff that I need, and then I'll go purchase that. And then next is getting him back to actually run the electricity, which is so exciting because I think as soon as electricity is done, then next is spray foam, and then we are moving in. Even though we're not going to have our walls up yet, I'm comfortable with moving in after we get it spray foamed. I'm so tired of living in our capsule that we're living in right now. I call it Tink. I'm so tired of living in her. It's been 4 very, very long years, which was only supposed to be a year and a half. It turned into be 4 years. I'm ready. I'm ready to move out. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to part out Tink and then just send her to a junkyard. Actually, I don't even know if I shared with you guys our living situation. So when I met Matt, I lived in an apartment. This has nothing to do with the craft show. And again, I'm sorry. I'm just going to let this all out now. So confessions, I guess. We'll call this craft show and confessions. Or not confessions, sharing, I guess. I'm sharing. Okay, so I met Matt 5 years ago when I lived in an apartment in this little town in Berks County called Royersford. And when I met him, I had two jobs. The one job unfortunately ended up closing. The owner took on way more financially than I believe she was capable of, and just didn't have enough backing. So she chose to close the smaller location of the two that she did own, which I understand. So that part-time job ended up closing down, even though that ended up being a 30-hour-a-week job. And then I was working in the hospitality industry when I met him. I ended up really having a breakdown at that point because it was 1 year exactly, almost to the date. Actually, it was one whole year that I moved out of that apartment. I just left my ex-fiance. My brother had just passed away. My cat, I believe, was, not treated correctly, therefore he passed. Long story. I don't even want to get into that. That's my past. Let's keep it there. So I really wasn't in a good frame of mind, and then I met Matt, and because I was not in a good frame of mind, I was drinking excessively. I, would never not admit that I had an alcohol problem. I did when I met Matt. He kind of saved my life in that aspect, which I'm completely grateful for. So I lost my job because I was drinking excessively, and I was, not holding up to my responsibility, and I accept that, and it was a dark time in my life, and I'm over it. I learned from the situation, and that's all that matters, because you have to have downs in order to have ups. You won't really recognize the ups until you have downs. So I lost my job, and I'm like, I don't want to live in an apartment anymore. Like, I'm so tied to this. Like, ever since I graduated, I wanted to travel. I did not think I would be in the Pennsylvania for this long. I inherited my, brother and his 4 children. My brother had a drinking problem. That was really tough. I was raising my 4 children, not mine, his 4 children with him. Those are my nieces and nephews. I dedicated 12 years of my life to them. I thought that I had, found the one and reset and was going to leave my life, like lead my life and live it how I wanted to all these years that, I gratefully and respectfully and graciously, well, maybe not so gracious. There was definitely downs in that too. I did give it my all, but there was downs and ups with that too. So, it came with that. And, I don't regret it. I don't take anything back. I don't wish my life would have been a certain way up to that point. But once I met Matt and I realized that he had the same aspirations and dreams of traveling and living in a small place just to have a home base as I did. And he, was a hippie just like me, and he loved festivals just like me. And he kind of brought me back a little bit, and I'm still working on this to this day. And maybe one day I'll get back to the way I was pre-children, but he is teaching me, to slow down and enjoy life a little bit more, which is also why I am reading this, because I do believe I do need a cleansing of my soul. Yeah, so we decided to get this Shouse, and then we're going to travel. So we decided that we were going to get something really small, and then he ended up having a seizure and unfortunately lost his job that he was working at. And at the time I was running the music school. I still had the music school as my backup, so I wasn't completely unemployed when I lost my job at the hotel. That part-time job, which was only 1 day a week, then turned into 4 days a week, 36 hours. So I moved up with him. We had planned on getting a little tiny something to put on his mom's property and then just travel. So then he has a seizure. He ends up losing his job. So then I was supporting us for almost a year, because I don't know if you know, but when you have a seizure and you report it, which you should do, they take your license away for a year. So between Cole and baseball and him having the seizure and, him having a hard time finding a job, because at the time, the job market wasn't all that great because it was pre-COVID. So, we decided to hold off on that. So then we found Oh, and all along this was happening, we were living in a tent on his mom's property. A Cabela's Four Season 12 by 14 tent. We intended in having a fireplace in there during this winter. So yeah, we built up a platform. So we lived in the tent, and then the tent ended up ripping, and at the same time, my aunt was getting rid of this 1974 RevCon motorhome. We were like, this is perfect. We can take to festivals. I can, that could be our new home temporarily until we get our stuff together. So we moved into that, and it took us a little while to get our stuff together. And then we were just about to make a move on a tiny house. We went and talked to them. We found out what we needed down. We found out, what we needed to apply for the financing. We had to work on his credit. Okay, no problem. That'll give us 6 months to build up his credit, 6 months to save for the down payment that we needed. We got a quote. We were ready to go. So that was in June of last year. No, the year before. That was June in the year before. So, yeah, June in the year before. So then we go in December thinking that, we're going to walk out with a tiny house that's going to be built and we're going to have it by March and everything's going to be okay. Well, then we went there and no, we did not. Yeah, we went back in December. Was it December? It had to be later than December. It had to have been right around when COVID-19 started. And then they opened back up for like appointments. I think. Yeah. So then we go back and the price went, yeah, it had to be after COVID. So maybe we didn't go in June. Maybe the first time we went was in December. Then we went back in June. I think that's what it is. I think I had it backwards. I think we first visited in December, found out what we needed, and then we went back in June. So now everything's been shut down a little bit because of COVID-19. It's June. We go and we think we have everything that we need. We have all of our drunken squirrels lined up. And they find out that the house went from $55,000 to $90,000. And we would not be getting the carpet upstairs, carpet in the living room, either of the nightstands in the living room, the hot water heater, the stove, the couch in the living room, and the chandelier that was hanging in the dining room. I think that was all that would be missing. So it was still $90,000, and with all of that missing, and there was no like, oh yeah, when we get stock again, we'll just deliver it and you'll be okay. No, you just weren't getting it because they weren't sure with COVID-19, with everything being shut down, if they were ever going to get those things again, or they had to go with another supplier. The stock of wood went up. The stock of labor was horrible because nobody was working. Well, they couldn't work. Well, they actually did work because they were considered an emergency, employee. But the production definitely shut down. I think at one point they said they went from like 6 houses a week to only 3 houses a week. So yeah, so then that fell through, and then we had to come up with another plan. Then COVID happened, right? So he lost his job. My music, well, he didn't lose his job. He was laid off and still getting paid because of all the COVID stuff. I wasn't getting paid because I did manage a private music school. So I wasn't able to qualify for any of the good stuff. So we were living off of what he was getting from the COVID stuff and from unemployment because of, the COVID stuff. Now we finally saved up enough money, and this is our plan, is to move into the Shouse and finally get out of the 1979 RevCon motorhome, which, mind you, my house is 2 years younger than I am. And it's falling apart. It leaks. We took so much stuff out. We had to take out the floors and we'd redo them, and then we had to take out the stuff in the bed, and then we had to take out 2 of the couches, and the couch broke, and the other thing broke, and the captain's chair, we had to take that out, or put the air conditioning and the fireplace, oh no, not the fireplace, the electric fireplace in, not a real fireplace. when it did run, you had to pull up the hood and take the exhaust out of the engine pipe and then shove a towel in there to choke it out because it didn't ever turn off. And like, it was just a disaster. We thought we would be able to fix it up, and that's what we take to festivals. Then we would live in our tiny home and everything would be good. Well, it just all turned to disaster. But we have a new plan that we're working out and we're doing it. So electrician's coming. Well, he's not coming. He already came. He just has to give me a list of stuff that I need to get. Then I'm going to go buy it. And then we're going to go from there. Okay. That update over. Let's go back to the craft show. I'm so sorry. If you were just here for the craft show, I guess I should have warned you to fast forward me till now. So results of the craft show. I'm going to insert pictures here of the setup and just bologna and cheese with you about how it was throughout the pictures. The location was awesome. Our neighbors were absolutely amazing. I met up with Marsha again, who is the director of this little village. Again, it's called Strausberg Village. It is a German village, and I love, love, love their houses. If I ever win the lottery, there is a black and purple house in that little development that I want so bad. Oh my God. Like, it is just amazing. Like, I was looking at it again when we were at the craft show. They switched out the mulch to actual coal in the, around the trees and stuff. And it sparkles in the sun and it looks freaking amazing. I love that house. Anyway, so the setup was great. We got there on time. We set up a little bit late, but that's fine. I was just me being me and the anal retentive person that I could be when it comes to like how I want certain things. So I didn't get done putzing around till about 9:30. Like I said, we did end up closing up shop a little early at 3 because there was a storm that was coming through. As soon as I heard thunder in the distance, I'm like, nope, we're out. Like, I'm done. Like, we're not doing this. Honey looked up the weather on the radar. There was this big green cloud coming in through the north. Well, I guess it was coming south because it was north is Reading. We're south from Reading. So it was coming south and we was going to hit us. So what I ended up selling, a polar bear lovey, a parrot lovey. There was another lovey. Polar bear, the parrot. Oh, and the ducky. The ducky. I sold the ducky. So those are the 3 loveys I sold. I ended up selling 2 pair of the Stephanie Zed slippers. Wow, zippers. Stephanie Zed slippers. And those are the ones that I featured from January. I sold 2 pair of those, one's to the neighbor and then one to somebody else. I sold 1 hat. I sold the spring poncho, the white and like pink, purple, yellowy, what pattern was that? Glorious Granny from Fiber Spider. I sold that one. I sold 2 cast iron pot handles that I did. And I think that is it. I think that's all I sold, which I don't think was too bad. There was a ton of vendors there, a ton of crafters. Like I said, there was 47 spots and 3 of them I think did not show. So 43 vendors. I don't think I did too bad. I did get a few more subscribers. I did meet a few more yarny friends. I did hand out my business card because there was 2 people that were like, oh my God, I would love to learn. And I'm like, listen, I can teach you. I have a studio. Like, you can just come up and hang out. I met another fella guy, Crocheter, who we sat and chat for almost a half an hour. That was awesome. I think his name was Kyle, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was fun. Me and Matt got to hang out, spend a little quality time together. My niece ended up, well, it's my great niece, actually, Summer, was with my brother, because so I left the craft show at 9:30, right when I stopped putzing around, and left Matt alone for like a half hour, where I ran back to the house to meet the electrician, and then I ran back to the craft show, right? So my brother ended up bringing my great niece, who was Summer. So then he came over to visit me, and then Summer came over, and she hung out, and she bundled herself up because, you know, my brother didn't realize that he would be spending time outside. So she was wearing shorts and this t-shirt instead of, like, you know, a jacket and maybe some pants, because it was windy that day and a little chilly. So I wrapped her up in, like, in one of my blankets, and she was all toasty and cozy, and she looked cute as all heckums, as she always does. So then I got to hang out with my brother, and we talked Shouse, and, like, you know, we talked about, you know, where we're going to be, and, you know, what's going on, and, you know, he's really excited for us, and, you know, I'm glad he's helping me out. So, yeah, we had a great day. So I'm really hoping that at least one of the one of the two people at least call me and we're serious about learning to crochet, because that would be cool to, you know, pass on to craft and teach somebody else how to crochet. So guys, that's all I have for, oh, yep, Wawa coffee again tonight, in case you didn't notice. They have the toasted caramel crunch back. They didn't have it for a little while, so I had to go with just the caramel flavor. I really like the toasted caramel crunch better. So guys, I think we are on February 11th. Oh, sorry. It's Melody B. Ty, Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on the Path to Freeing Your Soul. The universe is abundant. Watch out for greed. Greed for money, for sources, for love. Greed can slowly corrupt the heart. Greed can slowly take over our lives. Greed and fear can block our connection with the universe and the universal love. Let go of the fears of deprivation, of doing without, that haunt you from the past. Having more and more won't solve your problem if you need is to heal your fears. Look around with love at your life and the people in it. If you open your heart and look without fear, you may see you have enough now. Go back to your heart. Let love, not fear and greed, lead the way. Be led by your desire to joyfully serve, by the desire to bring your gifts, your healing, your comforts, and talents to others. Give back to your heart as often as you need. And remember what is honorable and true. Say to those you love, this is what I shall give, and I'll give it because my heart leads me to do so. The universe is abundant. Take your part, take your place in universal love. Go back to your heart. Give from the heart. And the universe will respond in kind. So guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you to the new subscribers that I did get to meet at the craft show. It was awesome. I will see you guys later. Be safe. Oh, wait. I'm up here tonight working on my secret project, and I think I might actually be able to get it done, which means that my next video won't be probably, well, I don't think it's scheduled to come out till Wednesday anyway, because I usually try to do them every 3 to 4 days, give you some kind of update what's happening up here. So I think by Wednesday, because Thursday we're leaving to go to the festival, so I won't be posting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So then Monday will be the next video. So this next video will be on Wednesday. So on Wednesday's video, I will be able to show you guys the secret project that I've been working on. I'm kind of excited and kind of scared. I don't know if it's going to turn out like I have it in my mind, and I hope it does. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to lie, I am going to be disappointed, but we'll see. I mean, it looks good over there on the floor. But that could be very deceiving. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Be safe and stay groovy. Bye.